This is the review and demo for Power Rangers RPM Mach Megazord. This is formed by Ranger Gold's Falconzord, which is a helicopter, Ranger Silver's Tiger Jet, self-explanatory, and the Whalezord, which is a sort of co-operated by both of them remotely, I guess, and it's I think it's a gunship, sort of like an AC-17, because it's got a bunch of, from the clips I've seen, it's got a bunch of beam cannons like all aligned here, and it's got kind of the cargo plane look, and you know our gunships are basically just modified cargo planes, so I would call it a gunship. Although it is a bit strange to see a whale fly, and also strange to see a tiger fly. So, but they're all flying vehicles, which is cool because pretty much all the rest of the RPM Zords are ground vehicles. So, Whalezord also has an alternate mode from his gunship. You just take the head off, rotate it around, plug it back in, and you split the tail, and then there's some tabs on the back of the wings that'll plug into slots in the rear sections of the plane. Oops, that fell off. Oops. Okay. And then you take the tail fins and turn them to the side, and you have sort of its boosting mode, or something like that. I think it was like 10-second attack burst or something from the clips I've seen, but it just basically becomes sheathed in fire and charges, which is pretty cool. But we'll get it back in its normal mode. I like them a lot. Actually, I like all three of these guys a lot, but the Whalezord or the Tail Spinner, I don't know which yet. One of those two is my favorite out of all of these, out of all 12 of the RPM Zords, or 13 if you count the road attack, but I'm probably not going to get that one. Just because he's so cool, and I like the 9 on his tail, how it looks. It looks kind of like a whale. Actually, they come with these like engine cell things that I don't really care for, but I just like that 9. How it looks like. A lot of the numbers look just like a number, and then they put like sort of an animal style on it as an afterthought, but that looks really well designed artistically, turning a whale into a 9. Close. What are you doing? Oh, had it in backwards. So to get these transformed into Mach Megazord, you're just going to take Falconzord's tail and turn it around and plug it back in where it originally was. So it just becomes more compact. And then Tiger Jet, take the wings off, and then clip them in onto these front sort of points, like right behind the claws or fangs. I'm not sure what they really wanted those to be. Whalezord, you're going to kind of turn it around sort of facing the back, rotate the wings, and then lift them up. So like these gun barrels are going to be on top. From the front, I guess you'd be rotating them down and forward. Take the whale head off to reveal the Megazord head. Spin around. Oh, and the whale mouth opens, by the way. Then you're going to plug it into his chest, and then split the rear section of the plane to become the legs. And then you're going to plug Falconzord in here to become the right arm, and Tiger Jet becomes the left, and you have Mach Megazord. And this is my favorite of the basic 4 Zords. The Paleo Max is on its way. I'll show that and the Ultra Zord when I get it, but I mean, I've seen the pictures and stuff, and this one is my favorite because I like blue a lot as a color, and he's got a really, really dark blue on him. Because he's made of all aerial vehicles, he can fly. He can use the Whale Zord's firepower. He's different from all the other ones. He's the most unique out of all of them because, you know, he has flight and he uses firepower instead of melee. I mean, even his finisher, from what I've seen, is firepower. He like generates an arrow from the whale mouth, and then the tiger wings here become like an energy bow, and he draws it using the Falcon Zord kind of as an arm, and then he shoots it, and oops, that fell off. That part is kind of finicky. The other cool thing is, you know, he would use he'd use the Falcon Zord's rotor as a shield. So that kind of reminds me of a Gundam 00, a lot like the mass-produced Union and AEU robot. Max would use like a defense rod instead of a full shield because it was lighter. So he's just really, really cool. I like this one a lot. It's a little more expensive than the High Octane and Valve Max, but it didn't cost me that much more than either of them, but it was more expensive. But he's definitely worth getting. I would say more so than any of the others, especially since Paleo Max is so expensive to get now because it had such a short run. But here he is with the Valve Max and with High Octane. He's, oops, oh no. Valve Max likes to break in half. He's about the same height as High Octane, so Valve Max is still the tallest as far as I can tell. He actually is. He's a little bit shorter actually than High Octane as far as the top of his head, but I think with this little red crest here, he's about the same height overall. But Valve Max's pipes on his crown come a bit higher than either of them. It's kind of hard because I have to do this on carpet, and they all sink into the carpet a little bit differently. But there you have it. Power Rangers RPM Mach Megazord.